Hello my friends, and once again, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today we're back out here in the Hunter Call of the Wild once again, and we are joined by my friend, Lady Legend. In today's video, we're going to be covering all of our best tips and tricks, so stick around until the end. If you do find this video helpful in any way, shape, or form, definitely let me know down below by smashing that like button and subscribing, as it is much appreciated, and it is the #1 thing that can help support the YouTube channel algorithms. And also, I'm going to go ahead and leave Lady's channel linked in the description below for you guys. If you're not subscribed to her yet, definitely go drop a subscription, as she makes some very helpful and very entertaining content.
Well, thank you.
Of course. And without further ado, my friends, let's go ahead and dive right in. Okay, so starting off with the things that I would strongly suggest that you never do when trophy hunting is something that I actually see surprisingly quite consistently, and that is hunting with quads.
That is a definite no-no.
Yeah, and the reason for that is because of the fact that when you're on a quad, animals will spook from around 300 to 500 meters, and chances are they're going to be hearing them before you even get the slightest chance to see them.
Yeah. It's definitely not going to help you find any trophies.
But what it will help you with is going from outpost to outpost or lookout point to lookout point to unlock your map, because running around on foot is not the fastest thing.
And the other thing you do not want to do is wear a backpack. When you go into the storage locker, backpacks seem like a really good idea when you first look at them. Okay, so this one right here gives you an extra 3 kilograms of carrying capacity, and it says it only increases your noise by 3 and visibility by 1. So that seems pretty harmless, I would agree, but it's just not a good idea. When you're wearing a backpack, you are going to spook animals before you even know that they're there. Diamond potential animals have the highest level of artificial intelligence. They will always be the first ones to spook, the last ones to show up, and if you are running around with a backpack, you're just not going to see them. So what I would highly recommend is ditch the backpack. If you do want to carry extra space, you can get the pack mule skill, which will give you 3 extra kilograms of space with no additional sound.
And there's the pack mule skill right there. Okay, so the third thing that you never want to be doing when trophy hunting here in the Hunter Call of the Wild is crouching around the map. And this is actually something that I misunderstood myself quite a bit when I first started playing Call of the Wild a very, very long time ago. Now, I was under the impression that everywhere you go, you have to be extremely quiet, and while that is somewhat true, as you can see, I'm 130 to 180 meters from this level 3. I'm in a full-blown sprint, and he is perfectly calm. Now, usually I wouldn't be running this close to an animal, but my point is, I am decently close to this whitetail, and he has no idea that I'm here. So it is okay to run around, but as soon as you get, for example, near the edge of the lake, or a water source, or obviously if you have eyes on an animal, you should always crouch and keep an eye on where it says if they're calm, attentive, alert, etc., because obviously you want to keep them as calm as possible to have the best chance at getting the best shot possible.
People may have the impression that also running around the map can be a bad thing, but without running, you're not going to cover a lot of ground, and covering a lot of ground is what is going to help you to find more trophies. So what I would recommend doing is do a lot of running, and when you get close to a water source, you want to slow down and start walking around 190 meters out, walk in, spotting the animals, and when they stop being calm, that is when it is time to crouch and just continue to watch the emotions of the animals as they change to know when you should go prone, and that is how you approach animals. Otherwise, it is okay to run around. And if you do spook something, it will come back to its zone eventually. And actually, the best way to get an animal back into its zone is leave the game and come back, and it will no longer be spooked.
Yeah, that's actually something I did on my very first Red Deer Great One, back when I had like 100 subscribers. I was streaming live, I panicked, I took a bad shot with the Zarza 308, and I main menued, to be fully honest. Everything went well.
That is definitely the best way to get an animal back into its zone if you have spooked it. Running around is totally okay, and you definitely want to cover a lot of ground when finding diamonds. Basically, I look at it this way. Finding diamonds and rares is kind of like a game of hide and seek. Every brand new map has trophies on it, so if you have never pulled a diamond or rare from your map, you do have trophies on your map. They're hiding on you somewhere. Every new map has trophies on it. You just have to find them. So basically what I like to do when I am trophy hunting is, say I'm looking for a diamond whitetail. The first thing I do is jump into my Discord and look up what time to hunt them. And the best way to hunt whitetail is in their drink zone.
And whitetail drink here in Reventuli from 8 to 12, and as you can see, we currently have the time set to 10:29, and we have a beautiful zone here out in front of us. So I'm gonna show you guys a quick tip for figuring out where to find specific species at, whether you're hunting them in their drink zones or their rest zones, how to figure out all of the species information like its max level, its max weight, etc. And for that, I'm gonna go ahead and ask you guys to join my Discord server. The link for that is in the video description as always, and once you guys get here, it's gonna run you through a few different questions, and then at that point, you guys can come down to this channel right here called Hotspot Maps, and in that channel, there is folders for every single map in the game. So for example, we will go to Reventuli Coast here, and since we're hunting whitetail today, we'll click on whitetail, and as you can see, whitetail drink 8 to 12, their max level is level 3, they are class 4, their max weight estimate is 85 to 100, there's all of their fur types, and everywhere highlighted on this beautiful hotspot map. Huge shout out to my friend ProXCK for allowing me to use all of his hotspot maps in my Discord server and in my videos. As you can see, all of these water sources are highlighted, and the reason for that is because of the fact that these are all potential areas that you could find whitetail drinking. Now, as long as you have the time set in between 8 to 12 and you visit some of these water sources that are highlighted, chances are you are going to find whitetail. Now, this is also very helpful for setting up for grinds or in any circumstance that you may want to find all of your drink zones, because of the fact that this is everywhere that whitetail can potentially be at. The hotspot maps are very useful. Like I said, we have one for every single species and every map in the game, and Lady does as well. I will leave her Discord server in the description as well.
Awesome, thank you.
Of course.
Okay, so when you are looking during whitetail drink time for that diamond whitetail, I wouldn't recommend setting the time right for 8 o'clock because a lot of the time they're not going to be in their zones right away. I would recommend setting the time for at least an hour into their drink time and then go out and start looking. As I mentioned before, when you find a zone, you want to spot every single whitetail. In fact, if you see any animals, you want to spot every single one of them, even if they are not whitetail and you are looking for a diamond whitetail. I can't tell you how many diamonds and rares that I have found while not looking for them. So it is a good idea to spot everything. Now, what are we looking for? Well, it is very helpful to know the max level for every species in the game. And as you play and as you get to know the game better, you will start to learn this, but I do have a max levels chart in my Discord for newer players. But basically how it works is most deer go to level 5, most ducks and birds go to level 3, except for geese, and they go to level 5. There's always exceptions. Predators go to 9 legendary, as well as a few other species like red deer. Most things that are not predators go to level 5, but most animals can make diamond at max level and 1 level before. The only exception to this is for animals that go to 9 legendary, usually do have to be 9 legendary in order to make diamond. And just because you find a 9 legendary does not guarantee that it is going to be a diamond. It is a potential diamond. And we are going to talk about how to identify a diamond potential animal as well.
All right, guys, so as you can see, we have a level 3 whitetail in front of us. Now, level 3 is max level for whitetail, but what I want you guys to look at is the trophy rating estimate. As you can see, it says 248 to 289, and whitetail go diamond at 255.09. So when the diamond trophy rating falls within the estimate for that particular animal, that then makes that animal a diamond potential animal.
Absolutely. And the way to tell when an animal is a guaranteed diamond is when the diamond trophy rating is below the bottom estimate. That means when you shoot it with a vital shot and pass the harvest check will be a guaranteed diamond. So for example, if this whitetail deer had an estimate of 260 to 290 and diamond is 255, therefore, this would be a guaranteed diamond. And that same goes if this were a level 2, because whitetail can be diamond at level 2 and level 3. Everything that goes to level 3 can also make diamond at level 2 and level 3. It's just the 9s. They don't make diamond at 8 mythical very often, except for a few species. A couple of them are water buffalo and gray fox. They do go diamond at 8 mythical on the regular, but most species that go to 9 do not.
Yeah, that is definitely true. I don't think I've ever seen an 8 mythical red deer diamond in my entire time of playing Call of the Wild.
I haven't personally. I've seen a couple screenshots, so I know it is possible, but it is almost unheard of.
It is extremely uncommon.
Yes. Okay, so we have jumped over here to Medved, and this is an example of a diamond potential animal that is not max level. So this is a level 4 moose. It has a trophy estimate of 235 to 289, and moose go diamond at 274.99. So 274 falls within the estimate, so therefore this could be a diamond. So what we're gonna do is I'm gonna shoot it, and we're gonna find out. So whenever you are shooting at a diamond potential animal, make sure that you are using the right ammo, the right weapon, so that you do pass the harvest check, because if you don't pass the harvest check, no diamond for you. And broadside shot is the best to go for, and we got him.
You got him. Nice.
Gonna go splat momentarily, and he is down.
Nice. And here is her vital blood.
Here is our diamond potential moose, and he is not a diamond. He scored pretty much close to the bottom, but he definitely could have been a diamond. Now, as you do play the game, you'll start to learn which racks will make diamond, but that is not something to worry about as a new player. So anytime you do find a diamond potential animal, definitely take your best shot, because it definitely could be a diamond. Now, another great way to find diamonds is through tracking. Now, you don't want to track every max weight track that you come upon, but you definitely want to track max weight tracks for predators and some other species. And as you play the game more, you will learn which of those tracks are worth tracking. But all predators, when you find a max weight track, I would definitely recommend tracking. If you were to find a max weight red fox track, which is 12 to 15 kilograms, I believe, that is going to lead you to either a large level 7, an 8 mythical, or a 9 legendary. Now, before I did the red fox grind, I had 6 diamond red fox, and 5 out of 6 of them I found through tracking that max weight track. So anytime you find a max weight track for a predator, I would highly recommend tracking it. Now, if you were to find a max weight track for a moose, you could definitely track that. It is going to lead you to a pretty nice moose, but is it going to lead you to a diamond? Well, not necessarily, but
Chances are it's either a big 3, a 4, or possibly even a 5.
for all those predators, definitely track those max weight tracks. Now, one more thing I'd like to share with you guys is what I call, where'd you find that? Whenever I see someone find a really sweet trophy, I do ask them where they found it, because I find diamonds and rares like to spawn in the same spot on different maps. So it is always worth checking that spot where someone else has spawned a sweet trophy.
Okay, so kind of tying back to the max weight track thing again, the one and only diamond red fox that I've found was off of my Sceudule map here on the PC account right when it first came out, and I found that diamond red fox by looking at its max weight track. We tracked him a little under 150 meters right into his rest zone, and we popped him.
Nice. Definitely those max weight tracks for predators are worth tracking every time.
Okay guys, so last but not least, the final tip that we're going to be sharing with you guys today is where you should be aiming in order to pass the harvest check. Now, this is where the zeroing perk comes in. So as you guys can see in the bottom right, I am 0 to 150, and the reason for that is because the whitetail is 130 to 190 meters away. That falls in that 150 mark, so therefore I can aim perfectly normally. So where do you want to put your crosshair? So where you're going to want to put the center of your crosshair is right behind that front leg there, and this steer is broadside to us, so as long as I pull the trigger, I'm perfectly lined up. Now, holding your breath is going to help steady your aim, so I'd strongly suggest doing that. And if I put the crosshair right there where I was talking about, that absolutely dropped him, and that was a beautiful double lung shot.
Now, if you do not have the zeroing perk, you will be automatically zeroed to mid-range. So for any rifle that zeroes up to 300 meters, which would be most of your class 4 to 8 and 7 to 9 rifles, you will be automatically zeroed to 150 meters. So you want to take that shot from 150 to 200 meters away. That's what I would recommend.
Okay, so here he is. He is diamond potential. Do we have a diamond here? Yes, we do. 257.45, an absolutely beautiful diamond. And like I said, we were 0 to 150, he was 163 meters. The shot did go slightly high, but that's probably because I was aiming high right when I pulled the trigger, and nonetheless, we got an absolutely beautiful shot there. Now, if you want to shoot them for when they're facing you, this is also very possible. Let me make him bigger real quick. You're gonna want to put the crosshair right here, and that is right where his heart is. So when you pull the trigger, what's gonna happen is the bullet is gonna penetrate through the heart, and obviously the heart is a very vital organ. Now, when they're broadside to you, it is also possible to hit the heart as long as your weapon is powerful enough. Where you're going to want to aim for that is, you see where it's kind of an elbow or shoulder thing is there? If you put it right there and you know that you're zeroed absolutely perfectly, I would recommend getting up to exactly 150 meters for heart shots. You will be able to get a double lung heart shot. Now, the 308 is an amazing choice for this, and also you're going to want to make sure that you're using the proper weapon. Now, whitetail are class 4, and the 308 is a class 4 to 8 rifle, meaning that I will get proper integrity when shooting 4 to 8 species with this rifle. Now, as you can see, I have the Arzina 300 on me, and this is a class 7 to 9 rifle, and whitetail are a class 4, like I said. So if I shot a whitetail or any class 4 species, or any species that isn't class 7 to 9, it would mess up that animal, and I would not get integrity. Therefore, it would mess up the trophy, and it probably would have turned my diamond into a gold.
Well, it definitely would have.
Yeah, 100%.
So anytime you shoot an animal 3 times, you are going to get downgraded a medal ranking. You have to keep the trophy organs intact. So what that means is, for an animal like whitetail, where the antlers are the trophy organ, you cannot shoot it in the head, or you will not pass this part of the harvest check. And then you have to hit 1 vital organ or more, and the vital organs are lung, neck, heart, and liver. Now, the best way to shoot any animal is a broadside stance like Squid did with this whitetail, aiming right behind the shoulder blade, halfway up the body. So if you have scoured your map and you've checked absolutely everywhere and you just cannot find that diamond that you're after, the next thing that I would recommend that you do is head to multiplayer. Okay, so here we are at the home menu. So there is the multiplayer tab. So just click in there and you can join any map in the game for free, as long as someone on the map owns it. Now, there is normally at least one person when you go onto a multiplayer map that owns the map. And if they do leave, the game will give you a 15-minute countdown before it shuts down. But you can hunt any multiplayer map for free, so that is a great way to try out different maps if you don't own them yet. It's also a great way to find diamonds. So when you are trying to find a good map to hunt for trophies on in multiplayer, what would you recommend, Squid?
So I would recommend trying to find a map that the host is a lower level player, or if the host has already left, I would recommend just taking a quick look at the map and looking for drink zones. So if the map does have a lot of need zones, if the map does have a lot of drink zones in general, or just loads of hunting pressure, that would signify that the map is not fresh, and if there were any trophies on it, chances are they've already been found and shot. Now, what you're going to want to be looking for is a map like this. As you can see at all these lakes around here, just the terrain in general, there is almost no need zones whatsoever. Now, the host of the map is only level 25. That tells me that they haven't been playing for very long, and chances are their map is not fully unlocked, meaning that they probably haven't covered as much distance as someone who has every outpost like myself or Lady would, and chances are it's never guaranteed. So if we were going to hunt plains bison right now, there would be a very good potential because of the fact that the time is set to 10 o'clock, and plains bison drink from 8 to 12, as you can see. And what I would do is I would check every single lake that doesn't have any drink zones at it, and in those lakes, considering that this map is very fresh, there is a great potential that there could be a rare, a level 5, or a trophy of some sort along the way. So therefore, fresh maps are what you're going to want to go for, as they do have very good trophy potential.
Absolutely. So when you do come into a multiplayer map, just simply check to see if there are a lot of zones, and if there aren't, it is usually a great spot to go for a hunt. Okay, so just to go over things real quick. So when you are trophy hunting, looking for diamonds and rares, you want to cover a lot of ground. You want to look up the best time to hunt them, which is usually drink time, and the reason you want to hunt drink time is because it's just so much easier to find water sources and find animals that way. So we usually do stick to drink zone hunting. Look up that hotspot map and check every single spot where that species can drink and spot every single animal. Once you have checked everywhere on that map and you cannot find anything, then maybe do the same thing in multiplayer. If you do come across a max weight track for a predator or a species that it is worth tracking, definitely follow that track. There could be a diamond at the other end. Always make sure that when you take your shot on that potential diamond, that you are going to pass the harvest check.
Okay, well, thank you so much, Lady, for coming out and helping us out today. I do really appreciate it.
Of course.
And I would say my number one best advice over everything we talked about today, which obviously everything we talked about today is essential for finding trophies, trophies, but keeping that motivation high, just playing the game in general. Obviously, you're gonna need to play to be able to find trophies, and something that I see a lot of beginner players doing is they come to me and they're like, I can't find trophies, I can't find trophies. How do you find all these trophies? And I'll ask them to send me a screenshot of their map, and turns out they only have one outpost, maybe 2 lookout points discovered. And like we said, playing the game, covering ground, and just putting time into it is definitely something that you're gonna need to do to be able to find trophies, as finding trophies is not always easy. There is certain coincidences where it is definitely easy, but there's also some times where, I mean, you could track a species 1.5 kilometers if you're tracking a max weight track or something. But nonetheless, there is a load of beautiful species that you can hunt in this game. There's a good variety of maps from all around the world. Thank you guys all so much for watching today. If you did enjoy today's video, definitely let me know down below by smashing that like button and subscribing, as it is much appreciated, and it does help out a ton with the YouTube algorithms. Again, definitely go check out Lady's channel. That is linked in the description for you guys. Hey guys, my name is Squid. You're watching Squidster Outdoors, and we'll see you in the next one. Peace.